Hello everyone, happy Saturday. I love you. Sending you a very big virtual hug wherever you are on the earth plane in this now moment. I want to talk about the baby steps of awakening. So as a human, we have these desires to take quantum leaps or quantum jumps when we awaken. We want to go from A to F, right? Instead of A, B, C, D, E. We don't like the baby steps. But it's imperative to start to understand the power, the gift in the baby steps. So what do I mean? Okay, when you start awakening, when you start breaking free, when you start making choice, when you start stepping out of fear, you start to recognize all the fear that you may be in. Now, first of all, there's nothing wrong with being in fear. That's like saying, there's something wrong with being, a human. There's nothing wrong with being human. You are human. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with being in fear, meaning I am recognizing that a lot of the choices that I have made in my life have been based on fear. Fine. First of all, don't beat yourself up and don't say, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. Oh my God, I need to change everything. Oh my God, I'm not making a difference in the world. Oh my God, I'm not shifting the human collective, etc., which is what humans do a lot. They start to belittle and make things wrong about themselves. So when we start awakening, we start to recognize, wow, so many of my decisions have been based in fear. And we start to try to dissect the decisions we have made and how we can perhaps begin to make new decisions that are not based on fear, but are based on expansion, love, freedom. And it's almost impossible for you to take every piece of your life right now and shift it just like that out of fear. Right? Maybe your kids are in school and you don't want them to be in that school, but that's where they are right now. Maybe you have a job that you don't want, but that's what you're in right now. Maybe you have a relationship that you're ready to get out of, but you're not ready yet. Maybe you have friends that you're ready to kind of stop communicating and being with, but you're not ready yet. Right? And you're looking at your whole life. Maybe you have relationships with your family that you're ready to shift around. Right? You're looking at your whole life and it's overwhelming, right? It's too much to say, oh my God, I've got to change all of this. So you start with one. You start with one. The easiest one, perhaps. Maybe it's not the job. Maybe the job is serving you in all these other ways, right? Maybe it's not the kids in the school. Maybe that's serving you in some way. Maybe it's the friendships first. Right? We take baby steps in this awakening process. We don't say, oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm in this job where I have to do these things that I don't want to do, like wear a mask. Am I doing something wrong? Am I not being sovereign? Etc., etc. Think of it like this: baby steps, building blocks. You don't go from 0 to 100 overnight. You have to slowly build up. It's like a marathon. You start the marathon, a couple miles in, your body's thirsty. It needs water. You need a job. You need to pay bills. So in the marathon, you stop at one of the water stops and you start to drink water. Now, if somebody didn't understand the marathon, they would say, what are you doing? You're quitting. Why did you stop running? You can't stop running. You need to always be running. If you stop, that means you quit the marathon. Why are you taking a job that you don't like? If you don't want to wear a mask and you have to wear a mask at that job, then you should quit that job. That kind of mentality is the same mentality as, why did you pull over and start drinking water? You've got a marathon. You need to just keep going. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our needs as we are awakening. Many of us need to take care of our needs as we are also awakening out of fear, control, and manipulation. And just because you're taking a time out, i.e. drinking water for your marathon, or you have a job that you don't really like but you need it and so you're wearing the mask, doesn't mean you're not sovereign. It means you're taking care of yourself. It's a big difference. You're sovereign because you understand what you're doing. You're observing what you're doing. You're not unconscious to your decision. You're not in amnesia. You're not unaware of what you're in. Therefore, you are awake. But you are making the choice to put some of your needs first before you choose to break free out of that system. So be it. Eventually, when your body has enough water, it's going to get back on that road and it's going to start to run the marathon again. And guess what? In a couple miles, it may need to stop again for some gel, for some liquid, who knows? And then it will get back on. But eventually, the more you run the marathon, the less you need to stop. Your body starts to get used to this. It's the same thing with this evolution in human consciousness and breaking out of the matrix and fear consciousness. You start to get used to it. You start to figure out how to do it. You start to get validated when you do it, so you know you're okay and you can do it more and more. You can start breaking free from relationships. You can start breaking free from jobs. You can start breaking free from educational systems, medical systems, etc., etc. But you may not be able to do it right away, all at once. Just because you're in a system that you know you don't want to be in, but you're in it because you're taking care of yourself and your family, doesn't mean you are not awakened, doesn't mean you are not sovereign, doesn't mean that you are not assisting the human collective. What it means is that you are having to take care of your needs. And you are aware of that. And you will have ample opportunities to eventually choose to step out of the systems that are keeping us conditioned, programmed, and in fear. But while you're in it, can you have compassion for yourself? While you're in it, can you not beat yourself up? While you're in it, can you start intending for the next opportunity to come in where you can break free? Where you won't feel like you are under control. It feels more like an expansive choice. This is how we evolve. It's not black or white. It's not 100%, 0%. It's a slow progression for a lot of us. Breaking out of fear is not an easy task. We are still in a matrix, in a dimensional field. Even if you have pulled yourself out of it, you're still standing in it, which means that you still need to eat food, drink water, take care of your family, have a roof over your head. Let's not get ridiculous in this and say, well, if I'm not in the matrix, then I shouldn't need all of these things like a job and money and paying taxes. That's crazy right now, because we are still standing in a dimensional field that in order to sort of survive, there are basic needs that need to be met. And there are ways that we meet those basic needs. And there's nothing wrong with that unless you make it wrong. Unless you make it wrong. This evolution is baby steps. You don't go from making money to all of a sudden not making money because you've left the matrix and life's just going to take care of you. May happen for some of us, but most of us have to take these baby steps until we're finally able to surrender over to this quantum field, to the universe, to God, to us, to source, to spirit, and say, show me the way. And you're not concerned about how you're going to make money. But sometimes it takes multiple experiences to get us there. So as you're navigating this awakening, as you are watching yourself step out of fear consciousness over and over and over again, one, can you stop beating yourself up? If you're in a situation where you are doing something that you really don't want to do, but you have to do it in order to get your needs met right now, have compassion for yourself. Stay observant. Hold yourself in a sovereign field. Keep yourself in higher states of consciousness. Recognize why you're doing it, and know that there will be another opportunity to step out. To choose from expansion, from freedom, and not fear. Imagine it like a marathon. But there will come a time, you will have another opportunity, and there will come a time where you will be asked to jump. This is this fine line, right? Between staying in the comfort and starting to jump. You're running the marathon, your body's like, I'm really tired. But you're like, no, I need to get back out onto that track. I need to keep running. You know that you're not designed to just stay there drinking water. You have to get back on the road and run. You've got a marathon. So we don't want to necessarily, or we want to at least be observant of not being complacent right now. We're aware of when we're in fear. We're aware of when we're doing things the easy way. We're aware of when we are allowing these systems to sort of control us, but we are always aware that we will have another opportunity to step out of fear and to step into expansion, freedom, and love. And we're always looking for those opportunities, always. So please try not to beat yourself up with whatever you are experiencing in your now. Everything is always changing. Everything is always shifting. Everything is a choice. And sometimes sovereignty requires you to take care of your needs first before you jump and leap out of fear consciousness. And that's okay. We're all moving into these higher states of consciousness, these higher realms, and out of fear. All of us are having opportunities in every now moment to step out of fear consciousness. Don't beat yourself up. Don't judge. Don't attach. Try not to make things wrong. I love you. Thank you for being here.